Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to talk about week 9 and 10 of our indoor grow and why this milestone is so significant. But before we get into today's video, folks, if you wouldn't mind, if you're new here to the channel, please consider subscribing. For those of you that have already subscribed, thank you so much. I really do appreciate all the support. So folks, retail sales on the farm have finally rebounded, so I do appreciate all the support that you have given our farm. If you guys are interested in seeds or hemp flower, go ahead and check out our website link in the description below, and as always, feel free to send out an email with any questions. So folks, why is week 9 and 10 so important? Well, week 9, not so much important. Week 10, very important. So week 10 kind of marks the 2.5 month mark. Now, if you apply that to your outdoor grow, we plant in mid-May around Mother's Day, and 2.5 months puts you in August. That's a really big milestone because in August that's when we start seeing pre-flower. So when you start doing the math in your head and you're like, okay, this is when the plant starts to transform. That is when it's time to finally transform the plants into flower. And that is the milestone of week 10 for me. Now, there might be other folks out there that do their indoor grow different, but I'm going to follow the template that we have for outdoor grows. You know, Mother Nature knows best, and I really feel like week 10 is kind of that line. The plants look super healthy. Of course, they're small. They're indoor grown plants. They're not going to be a 10-foot tall behemoth that we have in our outdoor grow during the summer months. But I'm really happy with where they look, or how they look, where they're at, and overall the plant's health. We already have identified a male, so sometimes males show really early, and we've already got one. So we're going to show you that today. I'm going to go in there, we're going to walk you through what we've decided to do, and we're actually going to be breeding some of our duplicate mother plants. Some of them are a little rougher shape just because they have actually spent most of their time outdoors this winter in a cold grown tent. And we'll kind of talk about that maybe in a later video if you guys are interested in something like that, where they were not in the house. They were, other than the light, they were pretty much exposed to the temperatures of the outdoor environment. And you know, they did fairly well, but it's time for them. We need to get rid of them. We're going to breed them out for seed. We know they're all females, and they're duplicate mother plants. So we're still going to have our biox, and we're still going to have our cherry wine and all the other ones. These are the secondary ones that we keep on hand for backups in case something happens. But yeah, so let's talk about week 10 and how we get these plants into flowering. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to change the lighting to 12-12. Now you can go a little less than that if you want to go 11-13. You know, wherever, but I mean, the industry staple is a 12-12 cycle to really change them over to flower, and that's what we're going to do. Now, for us, everything we have is hooked up to Wi-Fi and computer networks, so all we got to do is press a button on our phone, switch out the timer, and boom, we're done. And that's a really easy setup as well. If you guys are interested in something like that or a video on how we set that up, go ahead and leave a comment in the video below. But overall, real simple to do. We kind of selected the plants that looked the best to me for breeding, and we pulled the rest of them, and we have a third grow tent set up where they're just going to hang out until the summer grow season, where they're probably going to go out right to the grow area, and they're going to have a really big head start. So it'll be really cool to see how they perform going into the summer months when they're already 2 feet tall. So that is what we're up to. That's what we're planning on doing. Now, what habits are we going to change for the flowering cycle? As we hit pre-flower now, that's where we're at. We're going to be doing Angel's Touch from Cold War Organics. Now, that is a potassium-based nutrient. It helps out with the flower's density, and that's really what we're looking for. You know, as far as NPK values go, which is nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, phosphorus will give us more bud spots. So we're going to probably add a little bit of Coast of Maine bone meal if we can in there. Stuff is really, really good for phosphorus, and I really like to add it. But there is some phosphorus in the lobster meal, so that I know that the plants will have a decent amount to use once they get to that flower stage. But that's what we're really looking for. Now, as far as water consumption, I find, at least in this outdoor grow, that once the plants are in flower, their water consumption is greatly reduced. During pre-flower, they kind of maintain what they were doing during veg, but as soon as you start seeing real flowers, real buds and blooms on those plants, I find that their water intake kind of drops a little bit, at least outdoors. Now, that could be just a misobservation because they're in the soil and they have unlimited water essentially. Once they get down into the ground, our water table is so high here in Virginia that they can really reach water anywhere. So folks, that's what's going on. Let's jump inside, check out the plants, talk about them a little bit, and see what you think. So here we are at the Spider Farmer tent, and these are the 3 plants that I have selected for the breeding experiment. Now, as you can see, this guy right here is the biggest, he's the tallest, he's also a male. So as you can see the pollen sacs right there, and you can easily identify this as a male. We even had one already open up. Let's see if we can get in here. You can see it's opened up, a little bit of pollen right there on the leaves. So this plant is ready to rock and roll. The other 2 most likely are going to be female, and that's why we selected those 2. They're also very healthy looking, and I like the way they're very balanced. They're very round, they're very nice. I like the way they look, so that's why we're selecting those 2 potential females. And then over here, as I said to you guys, we have our backup mother plants. They're not as beautiful looking. They got some yellow leaves. Like I said, these are the secondary mother plants. This particular one is a cherry wine. We've got another one over here that I just moved out of the tent. That one was Afternoon Delight. So what we're going to do is we're going to move them back in here and put them with this one male. So this one male is going to breed with, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 females, potentially. We don't know if those 2 over there are going to be females, but that's my hunch. So yeah, 1 male to 5 females, and that is plenty good of a ratio. That male will produce quite a bit of pollen. And I'll go show you the ones that we removed. They're in our Vivo Sun grow tent with our Versa Spectra light, and they're just kind of hanging out. So we'll go show you those, and they're going to continue to stay in veg until the summer. So here are the other ones. We kept this big one for outdoor purposes. I know this is the biggest one that we've had, but if you look at it, its structure isn't quite as round as I would like a hemp plant to be. And we see these guys over here, they're looking good. Looks like this guy might need a little bit of water. And then that guy over there. So 4 plants that we kept, 3 for breeding. This one definitely probably needs some water. So this is what they look like when they need water. They get a little bit of droopy. This is fine, and once you give water to them, they'll be fine. But overall, we're going to keep these guys on the veg feeding schedule, and yeah, pretty much just leave them alone until they're ready to head outside. Well, folks, let me know what you thought about our breeding experiment. Leave a comment below in the video. Personally, I am very relieved to be breeding out 6 of our plants, 1 male, 5 females. You know, those are our backup mother plants, along with 2 that we've selected from this experimental grow. And I'm really, really excited to bring down 1 grow tent. But by the time this breeding experiment is over, I would predict that Mother's Day will be here and we will be outdoor planting by the time this is all said and done. So it's crazy how time flies. I'm really excited to get this experiment underway, get to the flowering phase. This is where you make or break an experiment. You know, the veg, fairly easy. Just water, feed, pretty easy. Now with flowers, you really have to be on top of these plants, and that's going to be the main focus going forward. But as far as everything else goes, you know, as far as the Angel's Touch and using bud and blooms, we didn't feature those in today's video because we haven't really switched over yet. We literally changed the timer a couple days ago. And so we really haven't switched their feeding schedule yet. I think their next feeding will be sometime next week, in the middle of the week, is when we will switch them over from their bud bread to their Angel's Touch. So we'll feature that. If you guys are interested in what we're doing as far as feeding, and we can feature it and talk a little bit more about the NPK value and why we use it, go ahead and leave a comment below. I always love hearing from you guys. But really, folks, that is all I have for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. If you guys are interested in supporting our farm and what we do here on the farm, I would greatly appreciate it. And check out our website link in the description below to help us out here on the farm. We've got a lot of big things going on in 2021, and I can't wait to share them with you guys. But that is all for today's video, folks. So I hope you all stay happy, healthy, and I will see you in another video.